We're going to cheers.
Oh, yeah. How do we do it?
Sláinte. Hell.
Sláinte.
Wait, so you record this and then you do the voiceover straight away?
No, not straight away. After Neil writes a script.
Oh, okay.
I've got to edit it
to make sense of the madness
the
that's
chaos.
about to ensue.
Fair. This should be scripted.
Drives me crazy.
It'll just be the ramblings of a mad woman otherwise.
So who is this mad woman? Let's start there.
Who is this mad
Oh
woman?
my goodness. Going straight into the serious questions. Oh.
Do we really know Rachel?
What do you want to know?
So there are things we think we know about places. But history, prejudice, stereotypes, and the viral nature of 24-hour news and social media has made common knowledge about faraway places more twisted than ever.
Today, as always, on Misinfonation, we try to clear up some of the outright lies, mistakes, myths, and misnomers of an entire country by doing what we do best, by having a chat with someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Well, today it's all great crack, rolling fields of potatoes, pints of Guinness, 4-leaf clovers, and pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. Or is it?
We sat down in our studio with our pal, the snappily dressed, lightning fast, deftly funny designer extraordinaire, Rachel Fingleton.
Rachel Fingleton from where?
Dublin. South Dublin, yeah.
South Dublin.
Kimmage, born and raised.
Kimmage.
Yeah.
Is Kimmage famous for something?
There's a really good petrol station. It's on a crossroads.
Rachel, a born and bred Dubliner, is going to walk our dumbasses through the beautiful country lanes and exotic petrol stations of the folkloric fairy tale haven of Ireland.
I'm trying to think, is Kimmage famous for anything?
I mean,
Is it-
the
is
service
it-
station isn't
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I mean, it says something. The service station is giving me an image, but is it kind of like...
It's the burbs.
All
It's
right.
the burbs, yeah. But Dublin's really small. Like, comparatively, like, I could walk from my house to the city centre in like 45 minutes if I power walked.
wow.
Yeah, but it is still the burbs. And if you're waiting for a bus, like, you miss one, like, it's not coming for like at least 25 minutes. You're camped out. Like,
Kimmage was in fact one of the more modest properties to buy on the Irish version of Monopoly. In fact, it has since been removed.
It was also home base to the Irish Republicans who fought British rule in Ireland in the Easter Uprising in 1916.
So that's some true working class hero roots.
Rachel's very Irish freewheeling leads us straight into a brisk walk through Dublin.
I feel like I always tell people, go to the city, but spend like 2 nights there. Get drunk, go see some trad, like have a fun time,
Right,
and then go
trad.
to the west.
Sorry, you're going to have to slow down. Trad.
Sorry, I'm going to speak at 100 miles per hour.
Please. No, but it's just the trad bit. I got lost at
So
trad.
traditional music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a big, people are very into it, and like when they come and visit, which is great. Like people, you go to a pub, they just start, like there's like a band who'll be there most nights of the week and they play. It's not every pub, by the way. That would be weird if you went to like the local. There's like a
Just
group in
insane.
the corner. Yeah. But no, you can find specific bars. The Cobblestones, that's a great one.
Cobblestones.
The Cobblestones, that's a good one. Yeah.
So 2 nights there and then just get out.
And then just, if you can drive, you should just rent a car and just like drive to the west of Ireland. And then go to the south. Kerry is beautiful. Donegal is beautiful. Galway's beautiful. I don't have my driver's license, which is a point of contention.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
So like I go home and it's very much like 32-year-old being like, Dad, can I have a lift, please?
Can you drive me to the petrol station? Drive me to the petrol station.
Thank God the petrol station is a 5-minute walk.
Everyone has a little picture of Dublin in their mind. Cobbled streets, warm glowing pubs lining the dark water of the River Liffey. But the more prominent image of the country is certainly the countryside.
Killarney, Kerry, Dingle, Limerick. All actual places, not made up at all. And all of these top the must-see lists outside the capital.
I've been to Dublin a couple of times, and then I've driven down the south, like Cork, Kinsale,
Yeah.
and up a little bit and back through. Went and kissed the Blarney Stone.
Oh, did you get some good luck?
I
You
mean,
know what this is?
Here we are.
It's a castle, but there's a stone inside the castle, and there's something, if you kiss the stone, you get an X amount of good luck. But to kiss the stone, you have to kind of like
To lie on your back.
lie on your back and kiss the stone. Yeah.
There's a hole in the floor, and the stone is in the hole. Kiss,
Yeah.
and it's like worn away.
Yeah.
Where like millions of people have kissed this stone. It's chlamydia stone. It's the chlamydia stone.
I'd be like,
of
can I just
Ireland.
wipe it a bit?
Yeah, can you just
bit of anti-bac.
a wet wipe?
As often we find while traveling and here on Misinfonation, the capital city is usually not a true reflection of an entire country. But does Ireland break the mold?
I don't think that's the case, because I think so many people have to move to Dublin because unfortunately they invest most of the money in Dublin. Like if you go to Ireland, there's always people being like, there's like the trains aren't great, like they're not investing enough in other cities, and it's or in like bigger town cities, the smaller cities. So I think a lot of people move to Dublin, and then they're like, they probably would love maybe to live closer to home, but the jobs are there, so they kind of have to go. Like, for example, my mum's from Tipperary, my dad's from Kildare. I'd say most of their friends aren't from Dublin.
They're not real places.
I swear they are. They are. My mum is like, she's a proper Tipperary woman. Yeah.
She had to go a long way to get to Dublin.
2 hours? Is 2.5 hours a long time?
Are you gonna play it?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
So, come on, let's have a trad. Let's have a sing along. It's a
Sorry,
long
whoa, that was
way
like the-
So, how to define a Dubliner? Is there a Dublin character though? Like, if you met somebody from Dublin, would you be able to tell?
Yes, I think like some people are like, they're real dubs and like they're such characters, and like I went to college in the Liberties, which is like the proper Dublin, like it's where the Guinness factory is, and you know, people have lived in that part of Dublin for like their whole lives, and like they're brilliant, they're gas, like they're such characters. Whereas maybe other parts of Dublin, people are different. It's like everywhere, no? It's like, I guess the area you grow up in like influences you and your character, and maybe if you come from an area that's more loud, you're more loud. Maybe if you come from an area that's a bit quieter, you're a bit quieter. I don't know.
I get it. It's like kind of like the Bronx for New York or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's like a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's our lovely Rachel.
But what does she think we're going to ask her about today?
Give us 5 things that you believe we're going to ask you about today that are just straight unavoidable stereotypes of being Irish.
Drink. I feel like that's a big one. Humor. I'd say you'll ask about that. Optimism, maybe.
Oh,
Music. Food, maybe.
sure.
Interesting.
Or their lack of. And what's another one? Famous exports.
Okay.
really good.
Yeah. So, let's get on with it.
Of all the things that topped the list, a different one stood out to me in particular. Something which would change Andres and Rachel's relationship forever. Something sacred. Something beautiful. Well, here's a good one to start with, because
Okay.
I think it will kind of bond you two together forever.
Oh, let's hold hands when he says it.
yes.
Perfect.
Ireland, Bolivia,
Oh.
a mad, mad, mad love for potatoes.
Like, honestly, I fucking love potatoes.
I fucking love potatoes.
That's a hill I will die on. My house is a meat and 2 veg house, right? And then I became pescatarian when I was like 24, a very long time ago.
Broke the family in half.
And literally, my mother cooks salmon and potatoes and a veg every day when I'm home. And I'm like, I like Googling, I'm like, can you die from eating so much salmon in such a short space of time? But it's delicious. And she makes mashed potatoes. My fave, let's be honest.
She's good?
Yeah, roast potatoes, boiled potatoes. You're trying to be a bit healthy. Chips.
Cheesy potatoes.
Ooh, jacket potatoes.
Jacket
potatoes.
Ooh, now we're talking. Yeah.
And Bolivia's got like, what, 300 potato
We
dishes?
claim to have 200 types of potato. And it is amazing to go to a market and see, you know, blue potatoes, purple potatoes, small potatoes.
Oh, we don't get
do all that.
we don't get jazzy with it in Ireland.
You guys,
no,
what? You got one
We
straight white?
I'd say there's
Straight-
like 3. I know rooster is one, but that's That's as far as my knowledge goes.
The kind of knobbly red one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does the
it's
job,
classic.
my friend.
Yeah,
Does the job.
Good stuff. Can't sniff it, a knobbly red potato.
But the reason I brought up food was Dublin now is like the food is so good now in Dublin. Like the food is amazing. Like the standards of restaurants is like top. Like it's good. But we didn't have like money for a very long time. So you can kind of understand why people love potatoes, because it was like there wasn't.
Yeah.
And like when people ask me like what's Irish cuisine, I'm like stews, broths, like.
But that's the good stuff. Yeah.
But now it's much more diverse, which I love. I'm like, it can't just stay potatoes.
Okay, number 2, which goes hand in hand with the whole kiss me I'm Irish love that the world has for this tiny nation. The open-hearted, out-and-out friendliness of the Irish. Is it a fabrication to keep up appearances, or is it deadly serious?
Yes, I would say.
Yeah? We
have like for me, I've found wherever I've gone, no one's like, God, I hate the Irish. You know, like they're always
That's
like,
true.
You're here. And we're like, yeah.
It's true.
I don't know. I just think we have a sense of humor, like
That for
default
sure.
genetic, and it's like a warmth. I think that's how I would describe it. It's like, I don't know where we got it from, but we have it. And
Is it, do you think it's a like pub friendliness or open your home and, bring in a stranger kind of friendliness?
I would say it's both, but it depends on the person.
Right.
And I think that Irish people love storytelling, they love talking, they love hanging out, and I wouldn't say other cultures don't, but there's something about Irish people, I don't know why we have this, je ne sais quoi, but we do. But it's a friendly thing. I definitely think the friendliness is something that I'm like, I don't know where that comes from. I used to think it was like maybe part of like being very well behaved, like as in because the schools are very structured and we're very religious and very like you were very polite all the time. But then I'm like, I don't think it's that. I think it's like just, I don't know.
It's got to be like a hard times, like hard,
Like we gotta stick
hard
together.
places. Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
stick together.
Yeah, how places make good people. You know?
Yeah, I think as well, like with being Irish, I found like some of the saddest times are actually some of the most close, like when people get really like, people really look after each other. And I do think, okay, maybe it depends on the person opening your home, but like there is this huge history in Ireland of like being very charitable, and like maybe it's because we didn't have anything for a very long time that, I don't know, we have a lot of empathy and we like look out for people. And but I don't know how you can quantify that into like a single thing. It's just part of the culture. It's just inherent.
It's the stew.
Yes.
Throw in a little bit of Catholicism, a little bit of humor,
Yeah.
a little hard, like really hard
Yeah.
times.
A little bit of potatoes, and then for a
Yeah.
while, no potatoes.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
the
there's some
thing.
famine humor for you.
Too soon.
Too
Neil.
sorry.
We'll get into it.
Fucking cancelled.
Yeah.
So this warmth of the Irish is often perceived in literature, film, theatre and song as a cloak to hide deep disdain, shame or dislike, sort of what the English called saving face. But are the feuding Irish a myth?
That's deep though, and like that goes back so far that it's like, and again, I think actually it's a really good question, because it's like you were saying, like Irish people do have a very positive identity, and for some people their identity is everything, like where they're from is everything, what they believe in is everything.
Right.
So I can understand why people don't get on when, you know, they have conflicting views on their identity and what that means. And
That switch is easy to flip.
like sometimes people will be like, you're all drunkards, and and I'll be a bit like, what'd you just say to me? Like, you know, and it's like,
Hold my beer.
yeah. So we're nice, but like, I wouldn't say we're walkovers either.
You're fired.
There's
Yeah.
a slyness, especially like in the humor and the personality of people, where you can kind of, you're like,
yeah.
you're taking the piss right now.
Yeah. Kill them with kindness. Like, yeah, you don't even realize, but I've like fucked you over.
You're cursed.
Do it with a smile on your face. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, now I'm like nervous.
You're nervous. Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
Whew. Terrifying.
So, as has always been the hook for this show, Andres comes into each chat with our guests as fresh as possible. I've never quite been able to work out if it's a stroke of genius or the height of laziness.
That'll be the latter. No, not the latter. The first one.
Great. You haven't looked at this list yet, have you?
I haven't. I have my own internal brain list.
You want to give us a Dre special?
The weird one that popped into my mind was not the Bolivia Irish connection, but the Chile Irish connection.
Oh, what's this
So
one?
I have a feeling, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Ireland respects a good storyteller, but also a
big
good
time.
poet, potentially. Not like a bullshit poet, but a real poet. Chile has the same thing. And then
Okay.
curiously, a lot of Irish in Chile.
Yeah. A lot of Irish fucking everywhere,
Yeah,
to be
right?
honest. Yeah. A lot of us everywhere. And in the middle of nowhere, there'll be like one O'Brien or something. You're like, how did your granddad get here?
Yeah, I recently met an O'Higgins. Chileno O'Higgins.
O'Higgins. Is it spelled like O'Higgins, but it's spelled O'Higgins?
O'Higgins.
Oh, right.
Is it like Siobhan O'Higgins?
What was his name? It was like, it was Cesar O'Higgins. It's a good name.
So good. I wonder if there's many like Chileans in Ireland.
Oh,
Ooh,
loads of
interesting.
Brazilians.
Yeah, right? We were
Dublin
talking about
is
this the other day.
popping off.
Right.
It's like so many beautiful Brazilians in Dublin. I think because there's something now where there's just like a huge community there. Food's brilliant. Everyone, the hotness has gone way up. You walk through like Grafton Street, it's just like reggaeton playing in like every second bar, and you're like, I love this.
What's that connection? Is it the Irish
A lot of people
have
come
thing for
to like,
Brazilians?
well, I don't know about that. I think they probably come to learn English. It's not like the government pays for them to come to make us hotter.
Straight to dating. You had 10 grand if you moved to Ireland. Just a hot Brazilian.
Ass exchange
It's like,
program.
yeah, we gotta raise the hotness level. Come on.
Exchange.
It's stock fund.
It's well known that more than a quarter of the population of Ireland alone moved to the United States in the Great Famine in the mid-18th century.
And it does seem that no matter where you go in the world, you're likely to find an O'Higgins.
I think the ironic thing is Ireland has created so many immigrants for so long. We've literally gone everywhere. So now it's quite lovely. I think that like we're welcoming everyone in. And I do think, okay, there's always assholes in every country that are going to be assholes. But for the most part, I think Irish people are really welcoming to people coming into the country. And I think they should be because like everyone else has taken us. So like we should return the favour.
Oh, that's a really nice sentiment. I was like, was it the give us your tired, your tired huddled masses?
Give us your hot,
Yeah.
your sexy.
Just sexy people.
As you're coming into the harbour in Dublin, it's like, no, we don't want any tired, ugly, diseased people, just fucking hot Brazilians. Just turfing people away.
Okay, on to number 4.
The C word.
Catholicism has played a significant role in Ireland, shaping its culture, politics, education, and daily life for centuries.
Though its influence has waned in recent decades due to social change, around 70% of the country still identify as Catholic. Were you brought up with religion in your life?
I was baptised, had my Holy Communion, and I was confirmed.
Oh, so that's up until
triple threat. No, and
triple threat.
and haven't gone to mass since the age of 18.
Okay.
Oh no, I do go on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do that here?
No, it's in
you're
like
back
I
home.
go. It's like a family thing.
Oh, you
It's
go
more
with
of a
the family.
tradition, I would say. I'm not religious. No.
Do you dress up when you go to Christmas mass?
Yeah, I put on my Holy Communion outfit. It still fits. It's amazing.
Confirmation is in teens.
Yeah,
How old are you?
yeah. You. I think I was 12, and you pick like a holy name.
Right.
So I picked my granny's name, Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah. Pretty trad.
Did you have a moment where you stopped believing, or was it more just the traditions, going and doing the things?
I think I never liked mass. I found it very old school because it is, and very
Boring
brimstone.
as fuck.
Yeah, and very brimstone and fire. And I was like, I ain't about that. And I think I just got older and I was like, I don't believe any of this. I have been in turbulence down and been like, okay, if
it goes down,
if you're real, like, I'm sorry,
real.
and could you help me out of this sticky situation?
Have you done the whole, what is it, confession?
I think I did it for my confirmation, but like I was 12 years old. What was it? Like I was probably like, I yelled at my mum last week. Like, no, it wasn't that deep.
Imagine, I've been having these impure thoughts.
The priest like,
Margaret, fucking chill out.
Sometimes when I look at Jesus on the cross, it makes me think of things.
Jesus.
My mom, she was raised Catholic, but then she went to a boarding school that was Catholic in Franco, Spain.
Oh.
And she talked about having to make things up because the priest wouldn't accept like lame confession. So
she had to make it juicy.
she had to make it juicy because he was
wow.
like, "Don't lie to me."
Oh.
Yeah.
Slower.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
You are
Mom.
free. You are free to go, Jill.
It's funny. because
3 Hail Marys and hand me that rag. I'm so sorry.
This is all going in. We'll go to confession straight after this.
Yes.
And so at least we don't feel bad about putting it up.
In Latin America, it's just kind of in the air. You don't even have to be religious, really.
No. What I find funny is I was in an all-girls primary school, all-girls secondary school. The first time I was in classes with boys was in like university. And I think now I'm like, when I first went into college, it gave you all these like weird power dynamics because you're like, I'm in a class with a guy. And then you're like, oh, he's much of an idiot as I am, you know? Like you realize that later on, but like I don't love that it's so segregated because I'm like, I just think that's not what the real world is like. So just mix them, do you know? But a lot of people still would be for not mixing.
Right.
And
Because that's how they grew up.
that's how they grew up. That's what they think works. And you're like, well, it works in every other country. So I think people will be fine, you know?
Did you, when you were growing up in this stuff, I often find that you end up learning how to be subversive with authority?
I was bold. I was a yapper. I was a big yapper. I was a big, like, I'm going to cut all my hair off kind of person. More, I just got in trouble all the time for talking. That was a big problem. Yeah. And then I went to art college and I was like, oh, I'm allowed to yap all the time. That's great.
The more I yap, the better.
Yeah, they love it. So I wasn't, but then you hear about other people who were really bold and you're like, oh, okay, I was fine. Like I did the whole like drank when I was a teenager, like, you know, nothing shocking. But I think I loved the friends I made and I'm still friends with most of those people, but it did feel a bit suffocating sometimes, I would say. More the culture in the sense that like it was so strict, like just so strict. Like if you walked in and you were wearing makeup, someone would stand there with a makeup wipe and watch you take it all off your face.
Really?
If you had like an earring in your ear, they would make you take it out right in front of them.
Seriously?
Like, it's just stuff that you're like, that doesn't impact me learning whatsoever. If you nail polish, you take that off. Like, you know, it was just mad stuff. And I think those things are like people trying to have an identity in a very like, everyone wears the same uniform, everyone looks exactly the same, which also has its perks because you don't have to like be stylish when you're like 15 or whatever. But at the same time, like having an earring or wearing a bit of makeup or painting your nails are like the one thing you have that's like, I'm expressing myself in this tiny way, and they're like, take it off. Take it off right now.
They're all the same. They're all the same, except the boys. They're a million miles away in another building.
Oh, they're 300 meters away in another school, and we're all rapping at the windows, just trying to get to each other. Like.
Throwing paper plane like love letters to each other. One day I'll meet a boy, and like any boy.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I do love a jazzy priest.
Yeah.
When they give a good homily, I'm locked in. Like I'm enjoying it.
Have you experienced a good jazzy priest?
Once in a while you get a jazzy priest and you're like, they're the ones who are actually want people to be interested, and they're not just like, okay, I'm gonna write Brimstone and Fire again, chapter 5. Like they're like talking about the world and what's going on and how shit it is and we should all do better. Like that, I'm like, fair, that's not a religious thing, that's just like a human thing. Like we should all be trying to be good or like better people, you know?
What about like Hot priests.
No, none of them. It's not an episode of Fleabag. Sorry to break it to you. Yeah. They don't exist.
That
glad you
took
asked.
1 second for that to go through your head. That was beautiful.
I know. You mentioned hot priests. It's like every woman's like, I'm back in the room. And no, it doesn't
I
exist.
think a picture fall off the wall in a second.
I love that. He's like, I love when he does that.
I love when he does that.
Okay. With the good Lord out of the way, it's time to get back to a little fun.
You know where we're going. Do you want to do a quick, you know what I'm going to say?
Tiny little speed round?
This is actually quite a large speed round.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
wow.
Yeah. I've been told this speed round is sufficient.
It's
in
perfectly,
size.
perfectly normal.
Perfectly
Oh.
normal. All right.
I don't know how to interpret any of that sentence.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right.
Feck me. It's an Irish slang speed round.
Grand.
Spot on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to explain it to
Yeah,
you?
what is it? How do you use it?
It's like, yeah, that's grand. It's like,
Deadly.
oh, that's deadly. That's sick. That's cool.
Like that jacket potato's deadly.
No, because that in my head immediately was like, is there poison in it? Like,
Watch
I
it.
think it has to be like dead, like your jacket's deadly.
Okay.
Like, I think if you said that salmon is deadly, I'd be like, it's not cooked to the right temperature. Like, it has to. It's much more close and
Look,
like, yes, I would say
impression,
that's
boom.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Your man.
Oh, your man, yeah. This one I found complicated growing up because my mum would go on the phone and she'd be like, yeah, did you see what your man was doing? Yeah. And I'd be like, who's your man?
Yeah,
Who is your man?
Yeah.
Who is he? And the thing is, you know who he is.
Yeah.
It's like the guy whose name you don't want to say.
Right.
But everyone's like, your man's up to it again.
It seems like it can kind of go for anything though. My friend John, he would always be like, he's like, what's your man's name? What's your man's
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
And you're like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, your man, the actor.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
fucking Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I don't.
You do need some
my
context.
man. Like I don't know who you're talking about.
The CRAIC.
Sorry,
The
it
CRAIC.
sounded like you said the CRAIC.
Yeah.
Say it again.
The CRAIC?
The crack.
Oh, the crack.
The crack.
The crack.
The crack.
What
yeah.
is the crack? It's not something you
Crack
smoke.
is the crack. It's just fun.
It's what's going on.
You can also say what's the crack,
What's the crack?
like what's going on.
What's the news?
Yeah,
What's new?
What's happening?
What's shaking?
And then
What's the scuttlebutt?
And then like the crack is like the fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get into some crack?
No, because again, that sounds like
Sounds like we're gonna smoke
Oh,
crack.
Yeah, we're gonna smoke crack.
This crack's deadly.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's
This crack is Moorish.
the crack is mighty.
What's going on at your gaff?
Well, what is happening at your house? That's basically that's what that means. I don't know if I'd be like.
No?
To be honest, in that sentence, I'd probably change it to "What's the crack in your gaff?
What's the crack in your
What's
gaff?
your crack in the gaff?"
And then the answer
So
would
rude.
be, it's
Yeah.
deadly.
Yeah.
My gaff, your gaff.
My
anyone.
gaff. Yeah, my
Anyone's
gaff.
gaff.
Yeah, gaff's house. Yeah.
We're not making a mistake here.
Also, a free gaff is a house party.
Oh.
Yeah. So you'd be like, "What's the crack with the free gaff?"
Wow.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting into it. Keep up, guys.
We're at like upper intermediate.
This is actually B2, so you
right.
might struggle. Yeah.
Feck.
Feck, yeah. I don't say feck that much. I'm more of a fuck kind of person.
Fuck. Is there a difference between a fuck and
Oh
a
yeah,
feck?
feck is very PC. Yeah, or
feck
flip.
it. Oh, flip.
Flip, yeah.
Can you say somebody's a
flipping out.
motherfucker?
No, you would just
same
commit to the
again.
fucker, yeah.
All these
Yeah.
motherfuckers fucking
Exactly.
I also love, I grew up in a house where like my mum was a teacher, and she was very like, we're not going to swear. So there was a lot of like, oh, sugar, like in my house, you know, like that sort of thing. And then I'd say we hit like
almost
13,
worse.
14, and it would be like, oh, fuck. And you're like, yes,
Yeah.
now we're sucking diesel. You're like,
Now we're cooking.
jammers.
oh yeah, like the club was Jammers. Yeah, it was Jammers. It's not usually good. It's usually like it was too packed,
Ah, okay.
Too
so it's
busy.
just okay.
too busy. Yeah.
Jam packed.
It's not a good thing. Shift.
Oh yeah, that's the case. They were shifting. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe I did because I deleted all of the.
Yeah, they
all
were
of
shifting at the disco. Yeah.
Even though it was jammers.
Yeah. They found space.
They were shifting.
Yeah. You can also say scoring.
Ah.
Yeah, or meeting. There's
Meeting?
another one. Yeah, they were meeting each
Oh,
other.
that's really sweet.
Yeah.
But meeting each other is also
No,
kissing.
meeting is like kissing.
Full-on
Getting
snogging.
up.
Snogging.
Yeah, but it
It's-
sounds nice. Sounds.
Does it? Oh my god, I'd be like, oh, they're meeting.
Wait, is it like MEAT?
No, M-E-T-I-N-G. No, you just ruined it.
Oh.
Sorry, went straight from cute to disgusting. Culture? Is that
A culture is it's a bit disrespectful because it's basically like someone who's not. It used to be like basically anyone who wasn't from Dublin, but that's offensive actually
Oh.
because it makes it like very all about Dublin.
That's buyer beware.
Ride.
Oh, she's big ride, yeah,
What
hottie.
does that mean? Oh.
She's a baddie. She's a.
Oh.
yeah.
Is there an equivalent for boys?
No, he was a ride.
Yeah?
yeah,
Oh, they-
yeah,
it's
yeah.
both.
Oh,
It goes for both.
it's applicable. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
I don't know how you do it, right?
But also riding is sex as well. They were riding.
They were
That's
riding.
first they were shifting.
Yeah,
they
then
moved
it
on to riding.
escalated. Then it escalated.
Then it turned out she wasn't so much of a ride because he was too much on the crack.
Yeah.
No,
He
you're.
had too much crack.
We're getting. We know you can't put them all together. It's
Okay,
chaos.
okay.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah, but how was last night? It was grand. She was deadly. You went was great crack. I went round to her gaff and I was like, feckers, this place is the
Jammer.
opposite of jammers.
Oh, okay.
Might be up for a shift if she wasn't such a culture.
Oh,
She would be a great ride. Savage. Eat it.
oh yeah,
Oh, you fucking agent.
yeah,
Is that it?
yeah. Because like to call someone an idiot can feel very like proper, and you'd be like, oh, you fucking idiot. Oh, you're such a fucking idiot. Like that's like a big one. Yeah, I'd say in my house there's a lot of idiots floating around. Yeah, yeah.
Scarlet for your ma for having ya?
Scarlet for your ma for having you.
What does that mean?
That's like, oh, I'm so embarrassed for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Vergüenza ajena.
Like
Yeah.
going red. Like I'm
yeah,
embarrassed
like
for you.
I'm like, oh, Scarlet for you. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Gorgeous linguistics.
Banjaxed.
Banjacks. Yeah, it's just broken. Oh, the remote's banjacks. Oh, the car's banjacks.
I'm bad Jack. Can a person be bad Jack?
I wouldn't say that. No, I would not say that. Again, kind of derogatory.
All right. We'll be back after the break with more from Rachel. Irish personality traits, superstitions, cuisine, and much, much more.
See you in a sec. Ireland is a country steeped in folklore, legend, and myth.
The Children of Lear, the Leprechaun, the Dullahan, the Salmon of Knowledge, the Changeling. All legends from the Green Isle.
So, we thought we'd test Rachel out with a few Irish traditions. I'm just gonna say these because I haven't really read through what they are.
That's
I'm glad your preparation
Well,
is more or less
yeah,
like
yeah,
mine.
I want to be.
he's winging it. He's winging it.
Yeah.
Fair.
Hurling curses at fairies.
Fairies are a big deal in Ireland.
Oh, you guys are like Iceland a little bit.
Yeah, we like, so basically fairies are like, they're kind of mischievous. So like you don't fuck with them.
Right.
So like if there's a tree in the middle of a field and it hasn't been cut down, like there's probably a reason.
Okay.
So that would be a fairy tree.
Are there just people that know that fairies live there? Or how does this
You kind
happen?
of just guess if there's a tree on its own, or if you're in the woods and there's like one tree that's different from all the other trees,
Yeah, like
that's probably
fairies.
a fairy tree. But the fairies actually used to be these things called the Tuatha De Danann, which were like Irish gods. And then they basically over the years got downgraded into fairies. So now they were once like giants in their realm, and now they're like fairies.
Now you
Yeah.
can put them in your pocket. So as you can tell, this place is obsessed with language, and the Irish tongue is considered an endangered language itself by the UNESCO, but is making a bit of a comeback in the country with a growing number of people taking it up.
Numbers show that there are somewhere between 20 and 40,000 Gaelic speakers in the world. Is Rachel one of them?
I have cúpla focal, which means like I have a few words.
Cúpla
words.
focal.
Cúpla focal.
Just
Like
couple
most
focal.
of Ireland, I have
Basically
cúpla focal.
focal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't ask me.
Cúpla focal.
Cúpla focal, yeah.
Cúpla focal.
Is there a sentence you can say? It's got a strange flavour to it.
Conna sa tátu. Tá mé go maith. How are you? I am good. Yeah. Rachel is Anam Dum.
Oh.
Yeah. My name is Rachel.
It's,
That wasn't clear.
Yeah, I got that.
what is it?
Oh, I have another one. Tá mé Magoni and Balia Clia. I live in Dublin.
That's
Wait, where was Dublin in that sentence?
Balia Clia is Dublin. Ballyhockley.
Pigland.
Like Irish people will listen to this and like be ripping their hair out from this pronunciation, but I apologise the whole
But
of
you know
Ireland
what?
right now.
Feck 'em. Oddly and darkly, up there on the list of well-known stereotypes of the country is the famed Irish wake.
Heavy drinking pub sessions post-funeral with a raucous sing-along, recited poems, and heartfelt remembrances from hammered, red-faced, red-haired, teary-eyed well-wishers who are still somehow expert folk musicians.
So what's the deal with this darkly jolly view of death?
Irish funerals are very fast. Like very
Whoa,
fast.
whoa, whoa, what do you mean? I
Like,
thought
you
they were
know-
like long.
It was 3 days in Ireland.
3.
Yeah, you have the wake, then you kind of have a ceremony, and then you have the funeral.
So this is one of my stereotypes is Irish wake.
Yeah, that's a
Just
big thing.
mad, drunken policemen.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends on the circumstances, because I do feel like there are funerals that are very sad for very specific reasons. But I think if you've lived for a very long time and maybe the person was like in their 80s or their 90s and they had a very full life and the whole family comes together, it can turn into like there's drinking, there's talking. I do think there's a lot of like jokes and people are really like, that's the one thing I think going back to Irish people being sound. I think the times I've felt the most in love with being Irish, I think, has been the saddest times, because I feel like Irish people really rally around each other in sad times. And I feel like they look after each other and they like bring them food and they, you know, pay their condolences. And again, I've never been to a funeral other than an Irish one, so I don't know what other customs are. But I feel like I've seen love like firsthand, and I'm like, that was really nice. And it kind of, even though something can be so incredibly sad, I think also it can be very heartwarming in like the same breath. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love it. All right. So, one of the most influential authors of all time, James Joyce, called Dublin home.
A baffling, strange, impenetrable writer. Hands up anyone who has tried to read Finnegan's Wake or Ulysses.
Well, word on the street is that Joyce is a coveted institution in Ireland and the rest of the world will never understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like my parents, my dad's a prolific reader. Both my parents are. Like my house is covered in books. And I think that like, I think I read a quote the other day and it was like, if Dublin burned down, they could rebuild it from Ulysses. Because it's like, that's how accurate the book is for describing the city.
Anal retentive he was.
Well, yeah, he was a very specific person. So yeah, he captured every detail. But yeah, I think growing up like in school, I remember like learning about like Yeats and Patrick Kavanagh and like Seamus Heaney and like, you know, like we've made some pretty cool people and I'm like, they're so good.
It does seem insane that Ireland has produced so many titans of literature.
Oscar Wilde, Samuel Beckett, Bram Stoker, C.S. Lewis, Jonathan Swift, William Yeats, all the way to Roddy Doyle, Sally Rooney, Emma Donoghue.
All world famous names. But when you think of one person from Ireland, the Don, the big brain on bread.
Bono?
No, like a saint, perhaps.
Ah,
Who would that be?
you mean the Englishman who was captured by pirates at 14, spent 6 years in captivity, became a shepherd and a Christian?
The guy who God told to flee Ireland and an angel told him to come back, which he did.
The guy who was never canonized as a saint?
Yep.
The guy who chased all the snakes out of Ireland?
Yes.
Bono.
Jesus Christ.
That's stupid.
This is like a fucking puppet show. What, have you ever seen American St. Patrick's Day?
Like I haven't been there, but
You
I've
haven't
seen
been
like
there, you've seen
videos
it.
and
It's-
stuff. Yeah.
How does it feel as an Irish person to experience that?
I'd say go to Dublin on Paddy's Day, and then
real thing.
Oh, it's
Real shit.
It's messy. It gets pretty debaucherous in town, I would say.
Are people painting their face green and wearing
Yeah,
green
that's
hats?
fine. Like I don't mind that.
Okay.
It's like part of the thing. I think what I have an issue with is like there's a difference between like drinking to have fun and drinking to like lose your mind.
Right.
It's not for me. Some people love it, but not for me.
Gotcha.
You know, and I'm also like, I do enjoy the fact that other cultures love us so much that they're like, I'm going to celebrate this too. Like, I love that. I love that. I love the spirit behind it. But I'm like, just don't get so inebriated that you're like, passed out on the street, like, you know.
It is cool that it's kind of like become a worldwide holiday.
When you remember
Not many
when
of
we
them,
were
though.
when we went to see Kemi and her band perform, and it was St. Patrick's Day,
yeah.
and it was by the port here in Barcelona. So it's like we're on the Mediterranean, and there's Spanish people that have learned how to do Irish dancing.
Oh, there's like we used to have to do Irish dancing every week in primary school.
Did you do
like,
that? Did
you really?
Yeah, go into like a hallway in the school and like have to do the walls of Limerick, and now you're like, you look back and you're like, couldn't that time have been spent? No, actually, I take that back.
Reading Joyce.
Yeah, reading Ulysses back to front. No, I feel like I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. I wouldn't take that hour back every week. Yeah.
Irish dance is a traditional form that has a rich history dating back centuries to the ancient Druids. Characterized by its intricate footwork, it's often performed in a fast and rhythmic manner and with as little hips as possible.
I saw an Irish dancing show once called Stream Dance. It's not quite as good as River Dance, but then it was only a tributary act.
Oh, you bastard.
I lost my mind writing this script.
I know. This part is batty as fuck.
Oh, I fucking love River Dance.
Oh, really?
Let's go. Hit me with your River
I've
Dance.
been known to listen to the Riverdance soundtrack like before a flight to Dublin at Christmas time, because
Are you
I'm
serious?
just like, honestly, it's like that music is so beautiful. Like, it's just like, whatever about the dancing. Yes, the dancing
Please
is
put
beautiful.
some under this.
Please put in some Riverdance, because it is honestly like the most beautiful music. Like, it's so good.
Wow,
How
you
does
really
it-
mean it. I can feel
How
it.
does it
Yeah.
make you feel? Like, what is it about it?
Patriotic.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing that gets
Yeah.
the flag waving in your heart.
It's like, have you ever listened to like trad music and it's like proper like slapping your foot against the floor? It's like, it's that feeling. You're like, this is a banger. Like, this is so good, you know?
Riverdance certainly blew up around the entire world. From 1994 to 2014, Riverdance was performed globally more than 11,000 times and grossed over $1 billion.
Just last year, the company celebrated its 30th anniversary with the Lord of the Dance himself, Michael Flatley. He's reported to be worth $325 million.
That's about half a Bono. For reference.
Okay, music cue. So, from a couple of national exports to a grand list of things that have certainly not been exported.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Irish food speed round.
Drisheen. Blood pudding from Cork.
Black pudding's gorgeous. I don't eat it anymore, but when I did eat meat, it's top notch.
There's no like salmon black pudding.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. No.
Box tea?
Oh, I love a bit of box tea. It's
What's box
basically bread mixed with potato.
Oh.
And then you fry
Right
it
down my
and you put
alley.
a bit of butter on it. Oh,
Ooh.
it's unreal. It's
Wait,
so
so
good.
what is it? What's the final thing look
It's
like?
kind of like a pancake, I would describe it as. Yeah, and it's kind of like if gnocchi was like flattened out. That's how I would describe
a
it.
flat gnocchi.
And a bit floury. Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's a saying here which is really funny. Boxty on the griddle, boxty in the pan. If you can't make boxty, you'll never get a man.
There you go.
What about a woman?
What about
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this was written, in the saga days.
1995.
The monks cut out
They were like, no, boxy's too sexy. Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
the laver bread, I guess it would be, no?
Lava bread.
Or lava bread.
I've never heard of that.
Dish made from boiled seaweed,
No.
often mixed with oatmeal and fried.
I have had a
doesn't
seaweed
sound
bath in Sligo.
What's
A
that?
seaweed bath.
There's
what do
a
you mean?
spa called Voya, and you get into like these retro like steel baths, and it's hot water filled with seaweed from the sea. And there's literally like little sea snails on the seaweed, and it's meant to be amazing for your skin. But
Was
by
it?
God, you're so dehydrated, like you're gasping, because the water's so hot, and you're like in a room with your friend, just like in a bath of seaweed
With snails.
with snails. Yeah, added snails. Yeah.
Barmbrack.
Barnbrack, yeah. Very
that?
dry, fruity bread, I would describe it as.
You don't sound too excited.
No, it wouldn't be my cup on tea.
Is this
no.
like a Christmas type thing? Or
I think it's actually a Halloween thing. You'd have
Okay.
barnbrack and then there'd be a ring in it and you'd look for the ring.
So if you got the ring, yay.
Good vibes, yeah,
Good
if you get the
vibes.
ring. Yeah.
Is there a bad thing to get that's also in the cake?
No, I actually don't think so.
Oh, you are optimistic people.
Yeah, you know. No bad vibes in the barnbrack.
Oh, I want you to say that one.
Blah.
Blah.
Double A. Blah.
Blah. That like rings a bell, but I don't know what it is. Is it like potatoes or something?
A soft, floury bread roll unique to Waterford.
A blah. Oh, okay. It's like a bap.
A BAP, but
Yeah.
it's protected by EU designation, like champagne or parmesan.
So if you want a real blah,
You gotta go to
I'm
blah.
gonna blah it up in Waterford.
Wow.
For the stereotypically bland thinking food haters of Ireland, there is one thing that they do inarguably get right.
So for one of the most severe left turns in misinformation history, let's change the subject just a little bit. There was a civil war in Ireland. Two camps that have been divided for years.
A conflict where the mere mention of a preference can feck up even the friendliest of social gatherings.
That's right. The Great Tea War.
Tea is a religion.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So in Ireland, there's pretty much two teas. There's Barry or there's Lines. I drink Lines. I drink good drop of milk and one sugar.
Okay, gotcha.
And I have sugar in the morning and then I have like 4 cups of tea during the day. Like in my house, like my dad will come in and it'll be like 9:30, 10 p.m. and he's like, cup of tea? And I'm like, go on then. I'm like, sounds delicious. Sign me up. I've drank cups of tea like literally going to bed. Like, and I'm like, I'm out like a light. So...
So, tea drinkers one and all, we decide to lay out a few more very Irish traits and let Rachel pick through the ruins of misinformation stupidity.
Here we go.
So let's say I'm going to ask you for directions, but you
Yeah.
don't really know.
Oh yeah, it's not called lying. It's called like embellishing the non-truth. Like I'll be like, oh, but then I don't know if that's just like a personality thing. Like my sister will be like, just say you don't know, and I'll be like, well, I might know. Let me have a minute to think about it. It might be this thing. It might not be this thing. I don't know.
Another thing we share,
Yes.
the Bolivians and the Irish.
Okay.
If we don't know,
bullshitters.
Yeah,
we'll be
I was
like,
just gonna say grade A bullshitters. Yeah.
we'll have a go.
Yes.
We don't know, we'll have a go.
Yeah.
There's a great quote in there which says, if you ask an Irish person for directions, you might hear something like, well, if I was going there, I wouldn't start from here.
The Irish love a good cue, but also like to complain about
Oh
it.
yeah, 100%. Like they'll be like, God, who'd do that? And then like you'd be like, oh, there's no other place to go. We should join the queue.
You were so unsure until the caveat. And then you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Praising with insults.
Yeah, if you do something very silly, you'd be like, oh, you're such a gobshite. But like you'd be like, oh, you're great though. You know, like it's a bit of that. It's like
That's such a great one that I forgot about.
gobshite.
Gobshite. It's
Gobshite's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah, like an Aegis can also be like, oh, you're some fucking Aegis. But it's like you're also like, oh, you're some
You're
fucking
great.
Aegis. You know? It's like that.
So, the Irish. Smiling storytellers filled with humour, bursting with good crack, laughs, and flighty conversation. How has Rachel's reception been when she's been travelling around the world?
I actually think being Irish has gotten me out of situations.
Ooh, tell me more about
in the
that.
sense that like I feel like we're very good at like chatting our way out of a bad situation.
Yes.
Like my phrase is like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Like because I'm like, you can kind of, if you've got a smile on your face and you sound nice, like you know, you can kind of be like, I didn't mean to do that now. Do you know, like the money was only resting in my account. No, but like, no, I feel like I've had a good reception, like nearly everywhere, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, it is like worldwide. I mean, the Americans have an obsession with. I mean, it's an immigrant story. But
Yeah.
the Americans have an obsession with the Irish ways.
Yeah.
But there was for such a long. This is one of the weird things for me. In the States, for a long time, it was, there was like racist slurs for Irish people.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, not so much at all recently, but I know like in the UK and like America, like it was like, and before that, like it was, there were a lot of like derogatory like slang terms for like Irish people. Like they couldn't get jobs places, like they couldn't rent places. And I guess just over time that started to shift. And but it's definitely something like more so my granny's generation, like I remember her talking about that, and like people leaving to go to England and having a really tough time when they first went. And I think in the UK as well, like especially in London, it's such a melting pot of like so many different cultures that like if you went to an exhibition and it was like set in like the 60s or the 70s in certain parts in London, it was like, you know, you could see that people had signs up that were like no Irish or whatever. And like obviously that's changed now, but like that wasn't always the case. And I guess it just goes back to the whole immigration thing, that I do think that's why Irish people are sound towards people, because I'm like, people didn't leave Ireland back then because they wanted to. It's because they needed work and there was no jobs in Ireland. And obviously, thankfully, like touch wood, that's changed. That's another superstition, touching wood. Also, there's this thing I feel with Irish men that they're like revered, or like there's something that like women who aren't from Ireland are like, will speak to a woman and they'll be like, I met an Irish man. I'm like, oh fucking hell. I'm like, what'd he do? What'd he do? She's like, he was so funny and he was so good looking. And I'm like, was he though? Was he?
It was just his accent. He was no Paul Mescal.
Paul Mescal. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you don't have this, because it's
No,
true. A lot of
yeah.
my women friends love an Irish accent.
Oh, they love an Irishman. Yeah. I don't know if
you
it's
don't
the
think it's the same for guys and Irish
I
women?
think Irish women's accents are quite sexy.
Me too.
Oh my god, guys.
No, it's a real thing.
Thanks, guys.
That's a good one.
I have heard we have very nice voices to listen to.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, what do they say? A lilt.
A lilt. Melodic voices, yes. Yeah. But no, when I just, maybe I'm from Ireland, so when I hear it, I'm like, did he make you laugh? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, did he break your heart? She's like, yeah.
You're like, I know the score.
I know him. He's from Kimmage.
So in wrapping up, as we always do here, the weight of the nation on Rachel's shoulders. We asked her the big one. So, do you have 25 brothers and sisters?
That's a stereotype. There should be a bell. Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Have you had any gringos, any like American people tell you how Irish they are?
Yes.
Does it bug you?
Yeah.
It doesn't bug me as such. I think, who am I to be like, okay, you are, you aren't. Like, you are. Like, your heritage is that. But I think maybe if you're reinforcing stereotypes and you're not like interested in like, I don't know, what's actually happening now and all that sort of stuff, I'm like, then I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. Like, let's get into it, you know?
Okay.
It doesn't bother me.
That's good.
No.
We had similar answers from, like, John said the same thing about, like, Americans embracing their Scottish heritage.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's actually kind of nice.
It's kind of, well, it's like, isn't it like the biggest compliment for someone to be like, I'm 1/5 Irish, and it's like a huge thing to me? You're like, fair enough. You're like, cool.
You try walking around with 100%.
Yeah, try 100%, bitch.
But it's funny because like I love being Irish. Like it's a huge part of my personality, and like I said, like I get such a positive reaction wherever I go, in the sense that like people like the country I'm from. So if someone's like, oh, I'm 1/5 Irish, I'm like, cool, you're as happy, like you're happy with that too. Like imagine like
You're
you were
a fifth as cool as I am.
Yeah. No, we don't do that. But more it's like, if they're happy with it and it brings them joy, like it brings me joy. So who am I to be like, I'm not the gatekeeper for the country. Look at me, I don't even know half the shit. I still have imposter syndrome, so you know. It's really nice.
Deadly.
It is nice. I do really love it. I'm like happy that the universe plopped me in that spot at that time.
Yeah, I mean, the impression I get from this chat, and something that I always kind of suspected, is there's something about these deep roots the trees and
Yeah.
all this, but also the stories, what's
Yeah.
being handed down, what it means. There's something that goes really far back.
I agree. I think there's something about being Irish that it's like very connected to the culture, and I'm very proud of being Irish. And I'm like, I think generally most of us are pretty sound, and like I like that about coming from where I come from. Like the tradition, I think, of Ireland is like very beautiful, and I love that. And I think like I will probably always be someone who, or for the most part, I don't know, forever, but like I will live abroad. Like I just like living in other countries and different cultures, but I still hold that, and it's like really important to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why when people are like, oh, everyone seems to like you, and you're like, yeah, that like makes me proud as well. Like I love carrying that around. I'm like, oh, like I'm from this little island that's like hasn't really done like we've just like, I don't know, made lots of cool stories and art and poetry, and but like it's just nice to be from like a small place that has like a big personality, let's put it that way,
And a big impact.
That's awesome.
and a big impact. And I think again it goes back to the like to all those people emigrating and like ending up all over the world. And sometimes I wonder if that's why people like us as well, because there's like kind of Irish people like everywhere you go, and like maybe second generation, like third generation, and maybe their sound. So like you just, I don't know, it like seeps in or something, you know?
So that's it for this week on Misinfonation. We definitely owe the lovely Rachel a few pints of Guinness for her time.
And next week, we sail to beautiful Croatia with our friend, the equally beautiful writer and director, Lucia Stojevic.
Till then, keep your prejudices in check, now more than ever.
And also, remember, if you think it's a stupid question, it probably isn't.
This episode of Misinfonation was written and produced by me, Neil Innes, and Andres Bartos. Huge thanks again to Rachel for kindly allowing us to drag her through the mud. Remember, the Cerca app is available now at the App Store, and you can head to cercatravel.com for more information and our excellent travel blog. A good shout if you're thinking of traveling to Ireland or even just dreaming about fairies. Our theme music for Misinfonation is by River Deep Mountain Dew. The show is mixed and mastered by Julian Kwasniewski. Stacey Book, Dominic Ferrari, and Avi Glijansky are the highest grade of Irish crack. They also executive produce this show, which is hosted by me, Neil Innes, and a banjaxed man who probably holds up as a pretty good ride, the Bolivian sexy priest himself, Andres Bartos. We'll see you in the next place.
What's the crack? I know your sister.
Banjaxed. Banjaxed is so great.
Banjaxed.
Okay.